Hey guys, sorry, I was not expecting anything to come up this afternoon, so I was a little unprepared. But, anyways, there's some more stuff that's been uploaded now to docketupdates.com because last week, when all the stuff was required to be turned in, unsealed versions to be turned into the court, there were some documents that were either too large to be uploaded the regular way through the docket, or some of it was like media, like film or audio that they couldn't upload that way. So we had to wait for somebody to get it from the court when it was provided. I think Clark went down there and got it. Clark usually is pretty good about that. So I'm looking at the Docket Updates website right now. It appears that some of this stuff may still be uploading, so I'll probably have to come back later. And we'll go through the rest of it then. But right now, let's see. I'll just go through what we have right now. Let me move this. I have to have these glasses on because I have one red eye, and it's like really bothering me. I've been staring at the screen for work as well, and it also just like it hurts a little bit. So, and I know people are always like, "Oh no, you have pink eye." I'm like, "No, dude, this happens seriously all the time because of my allergies with my dog and stuff." And my mom just picked him up, so if I don't take my allergy meds and I'm around the dogs, especially my sister's who sheds, I get hives, I get itchy, and I get like red eyes. But anyways, you don't have to look at it. I have my glasses, so it's fine. All right. Let me see. This probably won't be a super long stream. Hang on. Let's go to this one. Here it is. So they have all links to the new filings. Let me pop it up here. Let me edit this real quick so we don't get trolls in the chat. Spam bots. There we go. And yeah, that'll do. Okay. So the script notes, I have these pulled up, the script notes. So why don't we go there first? We're not going to read the script, thank God, because if you were here the other night when I was going over the intimacy coordinator deposition and we went through like little parts of the script and I was reading that, it was painful for me to get through. It wasn't even the script, actually. It was just the book. Just Colleen's book. We were reading a scene from it and I was just like, I kind of want to gouge what's left of my eye out, you know? So does Benadryl help? I'm not taking Benadryl in the middle of my workday. I'll go to sleep. But I know what you mean. Okay, so these are Angie Giannetti. I keep saying Angie. Her notes on the side of the script. I guess we can see some of these. Like I said, we're not going to read the script, but just these notes on the side. So here's the note that she wrote on the first page here. It says, Justin, I'm very pleased. Really wonderful work. Thank you, and please thank Blake. And a reminder, this is from the Sony rep. The character work is especially good, more interesting, layered, richer, and modern. My notes are mostly page notes, which are written on the draft. Happy to discuss if you disagree or anything is confusing. The bigger question is, other than language, this does not read like an R-rated movie. Readers of the book, the biggest book of last year, are expecting some heat. We just cannot have an R rating for language. That would be a huge mistake. I'm guessing the love scenes are still in process and have not been choreographed yet. Ultimately, that will be up to you and Blake to decide the specifics. I'm hoping they are sexy and grown up. I know they will be tasteful, but I'm asking you to also think about moments that are outside the actual bedroom. Moments that feel grown up and sexy, so we deliver for an audience that's expecting an R-rated movie. So you will tell me the plan for the love-making scenes when you know, but please work to find the balance between sweet/funny/endearing with the moments of real heat. Not only for the audience, but also so when the movie transitions into the abuse section, it doesn't feel like we switched from a rom-com into a drama. Very grateful to and for you, Ange. Okay. So we're not going to have to read every page. Like I said, there's going to be notes on some of these pages on the left side, so I'll look out for those. This is changing? Yes. So there was something with the wardrobe in this scene where she's or she's on the rooftop. I guess she had a funeralist dress on and something on that, and they wanted her to change it. We know she had her own ideas about the wardrobe, and she certainly took creative control of that. So, okay. Prefer not much more elegant without and such a famous thing from movie Pretty Woman. So what is that? Okay. So she's just talking about the dialogue here when he says, "I'm very expensive," and no kissing on the mouth. They're still talking on the rooftop. The rooftop scene made me want to cringe a lot in the movie. Okay. If this is right after funeral, same day / same outfit to make less confusing, rather than he died on Monday, should we add he died on Monday, we buried him today, in fact. Gotcha. Because she's still wearing her funeral dress on the rooftop. It'd be like, if he died a different day and you're still wearing the dress from the day he died, you might want to take a shower. You know what I mean? So, can we make the age here? Okay, so in the book, or the movie and the book, I guess, Ryle's little brother died when he was, I can't remember how old. And she's making a note here to make the age the same age as Ryle's real age when it happened. Okay. I don't think we need to read all of these script notes on the dialogue. I think maybe the top note at the top of this was probably just the most interesting one, but we can skim through just in case. All right, let's move that. Okay, here's Angie's note here. It says, this rooftop scene, more playful, really great, but at this point here, finally at the very sexy silence, let it play without the unreliable narrator line. Want to feel the difference in the transition and stop the one-liners and be in this moment. Okay. Let's see. Here's another note from her. And this is interesting because they're talking about wardrobe. And you know how the woman on the set apparently had a problem with him talking about the wardrobe and using the word sexy. So do we have the wardrobe to orchestrate this choreography? This is super important to have right wardrobe to sell this moment of sexual tension. Right. This doesn't look relevant. Remember, I'm only looking at pages with notes on the left side. Not yet. Don't need that. Yeah, luckily we don't have to read too much of this document. Don't know what that means. They're talking about the flower shop and shit, so I'm not going to bother with that. Hold on. Move that. Can we sit in the power of this moment of them seeing each other again without the jokes? They probably never thought they would see each other again. Can't we have the looks tell the story? I guess that's when he walks into the flower shop. And if you haven't watched the movie, he walks into the flower shop to see his sister who's working at the flower shop, only to find out that the person who hired his sister is Lily from the rooftop. So that's why that's a big deal. Don't think regular audience will get this as a carb joke. I had to read it 3 times. So let's see. Ryle says, I've gone up to the roof a few times, wondering if you might be up there. And then I'm a bit relieved when you're not. Lily says, I'm trying to cut down on trespassing and focus more on the business. Ryle says, I've never talked to anyone like we did that night. It's made me want to do weird things that I've never done. Like, she says, eat lasagna. He says, ask you out on a date. She says, eat lasagna. I mean, I get it, I guess. You have to be looking at them, though, to get it, you know? So the script, it doesn't really read well in the script. I'm going to keep going here because I don't think any of this is too relevant. Okay. Nothing crazy there. Don't know what that is. I don't think that's important, though. Here's a note from Angie. Please, God, no mention of a run to the bathroom when we're supposed to be turning up the heat. He's Ryle, not Michael Cera. And then so she crosses all this stuff out and then she writes, this scene is so much sexier with less. Okay. I don't know. I think she might get sued if she keeps writing sexy on the script because that's harassing someone, apparently. Okay, I don't know what exactly this is referring to. But her note is actually romantic before the first kiss. Pause the banter and playing cool or playing awkward and have a grown-up romantic moment for our first kiss. We need these very few moments of heat/sex to play. Ultimately, I'd love if you could give these two scenes a bit more thought. Want it to be grown up. Great. May I even hope for timeless? Okay. Well, timeless is this movie is not. No. Let's see. I think we're good there. We don't need to read that. If I ever watched this movie again, knowing everything that I know now, just like I'm looking at the script, I think if I ever watched this movie again, I would be cringing the entire time because I know how much they hate each other, like, and how terrible it must have been. And there's a clip we're gonna watch after this, where you can really see like when they yell cut or before they start filming a scene, they look like they just hate each other. Like it's terrible. Give me one sec. You came from Zach. Oh, cool. How's Zach? Okay. Let's keep skipping here. If you just got here, if you're late, we're reading through Angie's notes on the script, the Sony rep. But we're already like almost halfway through. There's not too many notes that we actually need to read. A lot of it's just like, great job, or ha. I'm not going to read all that. So let's see. This whole scene, so lovely. Well, thank you for that insight, but it's distracting me from getting through the document. Okay. Here's another note. New I love you moments for Ryle and Lily, just great, but worried does intercutting this young Lily and young Atlas first kiss scene in between undermine Lily's I love you. It's too good to have anything step on it. Let's think on this together if this is the best placement. Want to protect both present and past. That's really mechanical. It doesn't really matter. Here you can see she's really happy about this. Ah, you guys, this is so lovely. Okay. I mean, I could just read that in someone's voice. I don't know. If I ever had to give someone like my writing and have them make notes on it, I would just, no, absolutely not. Okay, there's nothing too crazy there. No notes. Yeah, we're going to get through most of this with no notes, so it's not like it's going to take forever. So that's good news because I can get to more stuff. Typo. I see she's picky too. Okay. Yep. I don't know what this is referring to, up to you, but this first line is so good. And they crossed out, but I'm not delivering your baby. I guess this is when the sister's giving birth or something, because there's two birth scenes in the movie. I guess I don't know if you really see the sister giving birth per se, but like the baby comes out. You know what I mean? It's there all of a sudden. So. Okay, so here's a note from Ange that's important. So far on paper, which is not a complete picture, I know, but so far we are only R for language. Let's discuss. So Sony was like not pleased with the rating being only R rated because of the like swear words and stuff like that. They want actual like sex in the movie, sex scenes, that kind of stuff. By the way, there's confirmed there's no kissing scripted in a hospital scene. Right. So Blake Lively went and planted one on Justin unscripted in a hospital scene where they've released this footage now attached to sorry, I got distracted. Attached to the MSJ, which said that basically she like could go up to him and would like improvise intimacy with him, and that was fine for some reason. But then she is like freaking out about an improvised kiss on on Justin's part, which didn't actually happen, and we'll see the clip on for that too. Veronica H. Song, thank you for the 30. Hey Lauren, I tagged you in a picture on Instagram with me with a water bottle I got from your channel. Oh, cool. And I think you missed it. Where should I send it to? You are awesome. If you email it to me, I'm more likely to see it because my tags and my requests for messages on social media are where things go to die these days. So. But yeah, for sure. If you email it to me, I'll see it. But thank you. I appreciate that, though. That's pretty cool. I would like to see it. Okay. All right. So they want to discuss adding more like heat and sex scenes into the movie, or like whatever they're trying to do, so that it's a rated R movie, but not just with the language. Which Blake, in her PGA letter, I believe, even said that she kind of forced it down to a PG-13 movie, even though this is what Sony really wanted. So, like, you see their execs behind the scenes calling her a terrorist and shit like that. It's because it wasn't just Wayfarer that she was like bulldozing. It was them too. They wanted an R-rated film. And she was like, no, I want a PG-13 film. I was like, well, did you ever read this fucking book? The answer is no, I think. But, you know. All right. Let's see. We're good there. We're good there. Do we actually have actual choreography yet for make love scenes? So a lot of these notes are on here before they've choreographed and shit like that. I don't know if there are any more important notes here, but we're going to find out real quick. Okay. Looks like they might have cut some of this stuff out. I don't know if they ever cut it out when I went to film, but that doesn't sound familiar to me. Okay. A lot of this stuff is just about the plot, and I know you guys don't need to know that because a lot of people are just like, I want absolutely nothing to do with watching or reading this. So. All right, we're almost done with this. Okay, here's the end. It says, thank you, Ange. So we finally got through all the notes, right? So let's move on to something else. Okay, so here will be the voice note. I'm going to start playing it, and can you guys just confirm for me when I start playing it that you can actually hear? I want to make sure that the tab audio is working. Just let me know.
Hey, I hope you're so well. Just wanted to connect, just to put something on your radar. So between us, like this is so premature for me to even share this with you. All good stuff. Headline is great, great stuff. But I was talking to Ryan and I was like, I don't know if we should share this, but he was like, you guys have such a great trust, fill them in. But basically, the movie I'm doing before Proxy, I sat down with the director and he was great and so lovely, and I'm so excited to work with him. And, we were just talking about how we have.
Just really quickly to point out, Proxy, that's a movie. She was talking about Proxy, a movie she was also working on. Has that been released? I don't believe it's been released. And I think that I read that her name was no longer attached to it, but I'm not positive. So we'll check into it after this. But just so you guys know, that's what she's talking about.
Very little time to prep, and it's a lot of work. And he was like, is there any way you can get the other movie to push? Like, I just feel like I need more time. And I was like, that ship is so sailed. And, and I've been, really, really under it. I don't talk to him like I talk to you. So I haven't told him like how stressed I've been with not having a baby nurse. Still don't have one, by the way. Found someone, and she was only available for like 5 days. But anyway, still don't have a baby nurse. Just the idea of going back to work right away, and also the idea of like, prepping for our movie and like wanting to work out every day and all that, but yet being on set all day every day. I'm like, what have I done? Like, the only reason that I'm doing Proxy before is because I gave them my word and I wouldn't go back on that, and felt like I had to make it work. But like, having a week off in between, it's just a lot. It's a lot. And the closer the reality gets, the more I'm just like panicking about that, because I'd really like to just focus on our movie. So anyway, when I saw that he was asking for more time, I was just like, I have a crazy idea, but like, what if we went in September? Like, I'll do this movie with you, but like, I just feel like I need more time before I go back to work, and I need more, like, shooting in April, shooting in March is just too soon after having a baby and not sleeping and wanting to be in my best shape and all that. So anyway, I'm trying to work on that, and I think that's a possibility. So I just wanted to let you know that, like, in case you wanted to go a couple weeks earlier, you're welcome to.
I don't
And
think he
obviously,
does,
there's
but okay.
selfish reasons I'm telling you this. Like, I know that our schedules are scheduled. I'm not trying to move anything, but like, if by chance you're like, oh my God, if I could go 2 weeks earlier, that would actually be great, then amazing. And if it is what it is, then it is what it is. But selfishly, what I would love about that is that, Ryan and I have also been really stressed about spending a month apart. And, I just, so none of it's your problem. That's why I'm talking to you as a friend at this point more than anything. But
Okay, she never should have taken this role for so many reasons, but like this was just not. She was not prepared for this at all, and I think that goes to a lot about why she felt insecure about her body and why she was so offended by stuff relating to her weight and all that. Like, dude, a lot of people like in Hollywood, like you look fine, you look fine, but their standards are so ridiculous. But she obviously was putting a lot of pressure on herself and was not ready for this, and I think that contributed to a lot of the kind of tension on set, even with her perception of the things he would do and say and why she felt so annoyed and all that stuff. So
the idea of spending all of June apart is just a lot. And the most we've ever done is less than 2 weeks. So our girls get out of school. I think I mentioned to you on June 16th. We were going to originally go to London June 17th. But now I think with our schedule, we're not done till like June 29th or so. So, selfishly, if we could go a couple weeks earlier, we could stick to our original plan and leave for London right after the girls get out of school, which would be amazing. And maybe that's like nicer for you, or maybe you're like, why are you saying this? This is like horrifying that you're mentioning us starting 2 weeks earlier. But anyway, I just wanted to mention it. But I just, having until the beginning of May is really important to me because I don't feel like I could pull it off any sooner than that. And I was really stressed. So I think that I can gracefully make this shift happen because our director feels aligned with it. It's nothing that I could have done selfishly. But anyway, I told you in 4 minutes what I could have told you in 30 seconds. But please, again, keep this between us because as of now, this movie's still shooting in 6 weeks, 5 weeks, whenever it is. I think it's 6 weeks. So nothing has changed, but I just sort of wanted to get your temperature on all that. Okay, cool. So nice talking to you. Not talking to you. This is so sad. This is my social interaction these days, just talking into voice memos. Okay, I hope you're well. Send my love to your family who don't know me. Take care. Bye.
listen, I sent some long ass voice notes. I really do, and so like I'm not judging for that ever. But just the content of this voice message it's telling me a couple of things. She felt comfortable enough with him to be making these huge asks and to also tell him like I'm talking to you as a friend. And the way she would talk to him, even if you look at her messages to him that have come out versus the things she's saying to other people about him around the same time, it's very clear that she was talking to him as if she was a friend and even saying the words "you're safe here" to where he could be himself and relax. And then she goes and acts scorched earth behind the scenes when talking to other people. And it's bizarre. It's completely bizarre. So even when you listen to that note, she's like acting like all sweet and nice. Like I'm asking you as a friend, or I'm talking to you this as a friend. Like, fuck that. Fuck that. There was no reason for her to even act like they were friends if she really didn't like him. You know what I mean? Like you can get along with your director or with your boss without being their friend or their buddy. I mean, I think for me, at least, when I had my first, job where I really had a manager or boss, who was, speaking of managers and bosses, my boss is messaging me, even though he knows I'm on my break. So I'm going to ignore that. Sorry, Trevor. But I think that you don't have to be buddies with your boss. And I feel like a lot of us have probably been in a position where we wanted to. And I was in a position where I wanted to at some point because I really liked my boss. And then we ended up being pretty good friends. And then it blew up in my face spectacularly, like spectacularly later on. So you don't have to be friends with your boss. You can just work with them and be friendly and be polite. But you don't have to go out of your way to say, I'm your friend, or I'm talking to you as your friend, or you're safe with me, that kind of stuff. Like, that's bizarre. Is Lauren's boss on the chat? No, he's on the Teams chat, but he knows about my streaming, so so it's fine. He's cool. Speaking of, like, we don't have to be buddies, but like maybe I am a little bit buddy with Trevor. I don't know. We'll see. But that's a little different because he's not the boss. He's just my supervisor in certain respects. I don't want to say too much because I don't want people looking into my job. So anyways, and like harassing people, you know what I mean? Because there are crazy people on the internet. All right. What is this? Carlotta reports. Who is Dr. Carlotta? Oh, okay. This is about, this must be her experts because we've seen their expert report, right? Professor of computer science at Tulane, where I've taught since August 2020. I don't know if I want to download this and open it or not, so I'm trying to figure it out. The emails here, the 1 year span emails, it looks like they're not loading yet, so I don't think they've been uploaded. That's why I'm saying I'll have to come back later and pick that up. Okay. All right. I've been asked by counsel for Miss Lively to review documents produced by the defendants, okay, related to their plans for a social/digital mitigation/remediation campaign. This is 91 pages, so I will go over it, highlight some stuff, and then when I come back later to go over the emails, we'll do that too. How about that? Because right now, there's just like, this is too much to go over when I have to go back to work soon-ish. Okay. It's... I would just like to point out, though, hang on. I would like to point out that these expert reports are going to vary a lot. So you're going to see their expert report support her side of the story heavily, and you're going to see, my God, Trevor, you're going to see his expert reports favor their side heavily. The experts are basically, in my opinion, bought and paid for when it comes to these court cases. And so you can get some insight into how things work. But you cannot, necessarily trust everything they say to a T. You know what I mean? Clark is going, okay, Carol uploaded everything available. There's one exhibit missing. Clark is going later because Ezra forgot to turn her CD in. Of course she did. Ezra forgets to check her email too. Let's see. Anyways, so... And I've seen this with the Darvo expert, the person who coined the term Darvo. They have decided to use as an expert for Blake Lively. And they've used it as an expert in other court cases where it turns out that the woman wasn't being entirely truthful. And then they used that expert for the sole purposes of having people on that side of the line being able to say, well, the person who coined the term Darvo agrees with her. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but she was bought and paid for in that situation. If I really cared passionately about that subject and I came up with this huge important piece of work that was going to define my career and shape how we view so many relationships, like abusive relationships, I would absolutely not ever be okay with giving a one-sided story in a court case. But hey, that's up to that doctor. If she wants to do that, she can do that. That is, lots of doctors do it, right? But I don't know, man. I'm just not a fan of it. Trevor, if you're here, could you stay with us, please? Don't worry, I have time. It's fine. Okay. I swear to God, if they message me one more time. Okay. I will be right back, guys. Let me go tell them to shut up, please. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to make sure my little status was on to where it shows that I've clocked out for my break. Okay. So there's not too much here that we have to look through this afternoon other than that, because like I said, the emails are not coming up for me yet. And we're not going to go through the expert report yet. Here's a TikTok of somebody who there's been some speculation as to like Blake Lively's team reaching out to people before like the news broke, like the big controversy and all that started breaking when it started, the talk online started talking about Blake Lively's team potentially. Is this something different? I don't know. I mean, how would I know, right? I go over things myself, but I don't know what everybody else is doing right now. I'm not going to worry about it. So, hang on. There was some talk that they may have been reaching out to people. And I think, in my opinion, you need to look no further than Leslie Dobson, who I will not call doctor until she starts operating within the ethical confines of her profession. And she does not do that. So she started circulating fake HR reports online to content creators to try to confuse them and get them to think that those HR reports were filed when they never were. And that was a long time ago. But this woman, I guess Jenna, is somebody who was out on TikTok saying this stuff, and it sounded like somebody might have reached out to her. And so this was at the heat of all the truce when they weren't supposed to be talking to media or anything like that. But then they had started to kind of seed this narrative, which is, let me be honest, both sides on this, and both sides in any kind of celebrity feud or dispute or whatever, court or no court, use PR this way. Whether directly or indirectly, whether they go on background and are a source, or if they come out and say directly that they're a representative for that person. All PR reps are doing this for all celebrities. The reason that people think this is such a scandal is because Blake Lively is exposing the way that PR people operate and directing the kind of outrage or negative feelings about PR towards Justin Baldoni, because she's making these accusations as if Leslie Sloan and her people weren't talking to people like this and planting these stories and saying the same things, doing the same things. All right, hang on. This is a short video, I think. Give me one sec.
Hi guys. There's something happening behind the scenes that I can't talk about because there's investigations happening. All I can say is that the women of this movie are victims. That's all I can say. There's a reason it's been being kept quiet, and I can't talk about it. There is actual investigations happening. I am submitting things, and if you know of anything, please DM me. Reach out. I want as much information as possible to hand over. This was not what I intended, and everything that you think is happening, it's the opposite. And I'm kind of shook, and I honestly am in way over my
Hang on.
head. I'm working with other people now because it is way bigger story than you'd ever think.
So this was obviously before the lawsuits came out, before anything really came out, but PR teams for both sides are working behind the scenes and talking to people. This is like, it shouldn't be a secret, but it was, I guess it was like, it is now the worst kept secret ever that PR teams are doing this, you know, behind the scenes and talking to people and sending messages and trying to influence narratives and making upvotes and downvotes on Reddit. And like, they do it all the time. You know what I mean? And that's just how PR operates. If you want to go for the PR people, better go after all of them, the entire PR industry, right? So it's like, well, that's cryptic. Yeah, it is. And this was a long time ago. And this woman has since scrubbed, to my understanding, like anything related to this off of her accounts. She had at some point written like a what was it, Substack or something. And I even tried to look that up just to get more background, and that was deleted. So I cannot find it. And it's not something I'm going to dig into too much right now. Like I said, she posted this, but it's been scrubbed. It's only coming out now because it was produced in Discovery. So here's another video. This is about the hotel allegation. So I guess nobody's like really seen this until now. But this lady claims that Justin was like asking her to either go up to his room or go up to her room or something. And then we'll watch it. And then after we're done watching it, I will explain to you guys why I think that this is kind of bullshit. But let's go ahead. Not that it has anything to do with this lawsuit, really. It just shows like how the PR teams work behind the scenes to get stuff suppressed or whatever.
While he was there, he asked to borrow my chapstick. I thought that was weird. But anyway, I waited until he like met everyone. I'll show the pictures later on. But anyway, he like met all these random people, took pictures, whatever. And then afterwards, he was like, do you mind walking me back to your hotel? And I was like, it's across the quad. Like, he was staying in the on-campus hotel. It's called the Night Center. And I thought like literally pointing at the building that was 100 feet away was enough. And he was like, oh, like, I'm not sure I can get there. Do you mind showing me? So I was like, okay, fine. So I was walking back with him and his assistant. His name was like Will, like Bone Break or Heartbreak or something. It was like weird something break. Anyway, we were walking back to the hotel and we got there, me, him, and the assistant. And I'm like, okay, goodbye. I'm going to go to Simon Hall and meet up with my group to finish up our group project. And he was like, you're not going to come up to the hotel room with me? And at the time I was, I don't know, 19 years old. And I was like, no, I have to go finish my group project. I didn't even really internalize what he meant by that because I knew that he had a wife and 2 kids. And I was like, okay, this is weird. But I was like, no, I have to go like finish up this project, whatever, anyway. And he used those words. He said, you're not going to come up to the hotel room with me. And then after I said no, he said, okay, well, come see me in LA when you're ready. And for the past, I don't know, 6 years, I've been thinking every so often, every few months, what does that mean? Come see me in LA when you're ready. Finish up this project, whatever, anyway. And he used those words. He said, you're not going to come up to the hotel room with me.
You're not.
And then after I said no, he said, okay, well, come see me in LA when you're ready. And for the past, I don't know, 6 years, I've been thinking every so often, every few months, what does that mean? Come see me in LA when you're ready. What was I supposed to be ready for? What was I not ready for at that point? And he gave me this like very, I don't know, like.
Well, obviously something, because you didn't want to go wherever he was going. So like he said, you're not coming up to the room with me. So I guess he invited her to walk back to the hotel with him. Is that the problem? For what? What were they doing before this? How did they start interacting? And did she tell him like, what is this lady's deal? Do we know if she's like interested in acting in some way or interested in the industry in some way? I don't know what he's saying that she might be ready for. Like when he's in LA, you know what I mean? Like, how do I know that he's not talking about a gig or something? Or like, maybe she asked questions about how his writing or his acting. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, what is this?
Intimate hug. And then I went back to my dorm.
What is everyone's issue with hugging? Like I get that some people aren't huggers. You just say no. Oh, I'm not a hugger. It's not that hard.
In the village house. And like never really thought about it again. But now that everything's coming to light, I'm kind of like.
Yeah, and then everyone clapped. Like, what the fuck? Here's why I think this is bullshit. And well, maybe let's put it this way. Here's why I don't automatically believe that this happened. And I've told this story before. My friend Clayton, he was the Bachelor on a season. Not a very popular Bachelor, mind you. And lots of people don't like Clayton still to this day. I do. Personally, I think he's a good guy. I think you don't know people just from on TV, but he had this woman on TikTok come out and say something like this, but say that they hooked up at a bar, or they met at a bar and they hooked up, and everybody was like all over him because he had a girlfriend from the show at that time, and said that he was cheating on Susie and that he was a terrible person, and everybody was attacking him and his character again after he had already been through a ton of that, and come to find out that this stupid girl slept with someone who told her that he was the Bachelor, who was not Clayton, but just kind of went with it. Like, yeah, oh, sure, I'm Clayton. Sure, I'm Clayton. You know what I mean? Of course he did, because he's a stupid guy in a bar who wants to get laid. My God. And then, of course, he was able to prove that because his geolocation data showed he was on the other side of the country at the time. But then, of course, her apology message and her retraction got like little to no notice. So his reputation was set on fire again. And then they, barely noticed the apology. So people out there still think that he like slept with some lady in New York who was actually just stupid and didn't even think to use Google. Like, my God. Both the girl and the guy in that scenario were very stupid. This story is not relevant to what's happening except someone wanting to destroy his reputation. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is just stupid shit. Did she forget her age at the time? I don't know. But I don't know like anything about this lady except that she's saying that Justin told her to walk back with him to his hotel. Apparently she herself says Justin said, "You're not coming up to the room with me. And then come see me in LA when you're ready." Like, what am I supposed to think here with that? I have no fucking idea if she's credible, and I have no fucking idea what they were even talking about. So I don't care, frankly. All right. Now, I'm not saying she's a terrible person or anything. I'm just saying this seems like a little ridiculous. Also, the whole thing about the intimate hug or whatever, like it's a hug. Someone hugged you. You don't like to be hugged. Say, hey, I'm not really a hugger. Again, I'm actually pretty sick of people with the hugging outrage. The circle of hugging outrage. Like, it's so fucking stupid. This is ridiculous. Anyways. We've heard the Claire Ayub call, so I don't need to do that right now. How about this? This contract thing, the email about Lively contract negotiations, it just shows the bottom here. She never signed her contract, which, as we know that, but they never wanted to show the contract because they didn't want that to be out there, I guess, for some reason, even though it was obvious and it was already said that she never signed it. So she never signed her ALA. And like a lot of these arguments around the contract stuff that they were talking about in court, there's like, dude, she never signed the contract. She never signed any contract. So she would try to make certain arguments about her agreements, and it's like, you never signed that agreement. So yeah, anyways, there's the Van Zandt subpoena files. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting, actually. Let me pull that up. Just so I can skim through real quick. So it looks like there's some text here. Some of this might be a nothing burger. I don't know how much of this is going to be relevant. Starting a chain so we're connected moving forward with Melissa and team. Okay. Here there's like talking about some TikToks. Or he would like send them stuff and be like, hey, I'm worried about this. You know what I mean? So it's minimal noise. We will continue to monitor. Like, okay. And there might be some texts in here that are like crazy, but I don't know if I don't have time, unfortunately, because I have limited break time today to go through this. So I'll come back tonight. You know what I'll do? Hold on. And we just do this right after work. We'll go 5:30 p.m. All right, so I've set that up. And then we'll get through as much as possible right now. And then I'll come back at 5:30. I spelled remaining wrong. That's fantastic. Sorry. Give me a second, guys. Okay, fixed it. Now all I have to do is set it to redirect you after this one. Yep, there we go. All right, so that way I can do as much as I can now, and I can bounce, go back to work, and then I'll come back. What is this here? It ends with us acting loan out agreements. These are emails about the ALA. I won't go through all these right now. Okay. So the last thing I'll probably go through right now. Also, these videos haven't, like, they'll be posted, it says, but they're not loading yet, so I'm not able to do that. But this will be the last thing we look at. But the reason I want to look at this again, even though I know everybody's seen the dance footage, is I want to show you how she described it one more time. Let's see. I need to pull up her declaration for that. Here it is. So before we watch that, let me just... Okay. On May 23rd, let's see, make sure I'm not muted. Yep. On May 23rd, Baldoni and I shot a dance scene. The dance scene stated that our characters would be in their own world, falling in love, and did not call for any kissing, simulated intimacy, or any physical touching beyond slow dancing. I was not asked by Baldoni to alter or expand the scene as written. There was no discussion or no opportunity for me to consent to kissing or intimacy with Baldoni or the film's intimacy coordinator in preparation for filming. Still, Baldoni spontaneously improvised intimate physical touch during filming. He repeatedly leaned in towards me, attempted to kiss me, kissed my forehead, intimately rubbed his face and mouth against my neck, put his thumb to my mouth and flicked my lower lip, caressed me and leaned into my neck, saying it smells good in reference to my skin. None of this was scripted, discussed, or agreed to in advance. I felt trapped and tried to create physical distance from Baldoni. Since Baldoni's unscripted physical advances took place while cameras were rolling, I attempted to evade his touch while staying visibly in character and attempting to maintain my performance, leaning and spinning away from him and suggesting that the characters talk rather than kiss or nuzzle, while also trying not to disrupt or further draw out the scene so I could get it over with. I tried to use levity and choreography and character to keep Baldoni at bay and to avoid his unwanted touching. So you guys tell me when we watch this, how much of that you think is grounded in reality? Okay. Gotta make sure you guys can actually see the tab. Yeah, there we go. I'll skip to the where you can actually see.
Yeah. They know each other better than that. She's not marrying someone she doesn't know. That's a red flag. Do you know what I mean? You're like, oh, okay, there's stuff that we don't know. Yeah. It feels.
Now they both look like they really don't like each other. In my opinion, they both look like, oh my god, why we have to do this?
On action.
You know,
Let's just do everyone celebrated. There's a game going on.
They don't look like they're enamored with each other at all.
Passing.
On action, it'll just be celebration. They violate the sport. Ready and lay back. Lay back.
Take it off.
Back. Okay.
Oh, that's a sticker. Hey, no, there's no sticker.
And they score. They score. Score another.
I'm probably getting spray tan on you.
I don't actually see him kissing her at all.
Well,
He's
it
putting
sounds
his
good.
face up to her.
They win. They won.
All right, cut.
And let's roll.
Gonna be because we're in slow mo, but just they're watching. You know,
Yes.
people are
Okay.
watching games. We see some, you know, just some hands and things like that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Ready and everybody gets and playback. Background. Camera. Move it back up. This is on the mark, and I think the light is something.
But everyone's fine.
Oh, okay. They score!
So it's kind of like the thing we were talking, or no, they were talking about in court, the lawyers, is where's the line? Like for what they would need like a signed contract for and an intimacy coordinator for, And does like that light kiss on the forehead in character in a scene where they're falling in love, does that require an intimacy coordinator and a signed contract for that? Like, where's the line? Do we actually need to bring to federal court everything like that? And the example they used was like placement of his hands or whatever when they were talking in the hearing. But that's little bit in character right there, a scene where they're slow-mo dancing and falling in love and they're supposed to be almost kissing, not kissing. Guys, like, no, I'm sorry. That is not sexual harassment. That's ridiculous. They're clearly in character. He's not being predatory in any way, shape, or form. When they're not filming, you can see that they're actually like putting quite a bit of not like disgust on their faces for each other, but it's like they're very clearly just like, okay, fine, we have to work together. And he immediately like jumps out of character when they say cut. It's not like doing this to the lip to the romantic partner of the character is not like sexual harassment. I'm sorry, it's just not. That's bizarre. Hold on.
Go back to where this was. Morgan!
She's so unprofessional here. Like, she just cannot stay with food and do her job. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Watch out! Watch out!
You can but it.
Yeah.
Again, where you were.
Sorry, I muted myself. It's okay if you feel uncomfortable doing this. Like, it's okay to feel uncomfortable doing this. And you're allowed to like say that and feel how you feel. But you are doing a job, and so is he. You're both doing your job. That's pretty clear. So to call this sexual harassment and try to ruin the guy's life with it is pretty fucking despicable, in my opinion. Even if he was nuzzling, I don't know if I would call that nuzzling per se. But if you do, fine. That is part of their job. Again, I think she's being unprofessional.
Can we do a score? Can we do a score? A couple scores? While we're great.
It's nice to talk. I think it's more romantic. Okay, well, he's the director, and if he's trying to tell you, like, we need to just do this fucking scene, like, stop. Just do your job in that moment. It's not that hard. I shouldn't say it's not that hard, because they're better actors than I would be, but, like, you know what I mean.
We had no issue talking most of the time.
Yeah, and you're like, what are they saying?
We'll never know in slow motion. You're never gonna find out.
Have.
And the time stops.
Yeah.
But like that's just how it's been for us from the beginning.
No, we're like, oh my god, there's
Oh.
So she's allowed to talk about her and Ryan's relationship with him and, like, bring up personal anecdotes, but then she files a federal fucking lawsuit when he does. It's ridiculous.
Score again. Again.
It's like, oh my god, I forgot to tell you something else.
I think that's cute. You guys are really cute.
I think it's more than cute.
They won the Stanley Cup.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then let's just do one almost like super close.
Yeah.
Can you guys frame up on the Sebastian on you?
Yep.
Just we'll just do like our lips are right next to each other.
Yeah, gotcha.
So like that's not. She's acting like he was like super into her and like going in on her, like trying to kiss her and stuff. And like that's very clearly like he's announcing what he's about to do beforehand because it's part of their job. And then they're still not kissing. Hang on. There was no discussion or no opportunity for me to consent to kissing or intimacy. Let's see. Did not call for any kissing, simulated intimacy, or any physical touching beyond slow dancing. I mean, this is really ridiculous. He repeatedly leaned in towards me, attempted to kiss me. Okay, so he... Hang on. Let's go back to this. He said repeatedly before he did this.
Yeah.
Can you guys?
Hold on.
And then let's just do one almost like
Let's do one almost like super close. But they're not like doing it.
super close.
Yeah.
Can you guys frame up on the Sebastian on you?
Yep.
Just we'll just do like our lips are right next to each other.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I think you should start talking.
Oh my
Okay.
Do you know what I
god.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lady, do your job.
Don't give it to him.
You're getting millions.
Don't give it to
They
him.
score.
Just
Right.
keep restraint.
Yeah.
Score.
Just do a little bit of restraint.
Ryan, come on back. And the couple by the bar walk towards us across. What's that? No, your name. Sorry, ponytail lady.
And then
Across this way.
Ponytail lady.
Take your day across this way.
Justice for ponytail lady. She has a name.
he doesn't know
And,
He
and my-
just knows this.
my nose is so big.
Yes. I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call in.
Okay, so she could be joking, right? But she clearly feels that it's appropriate for her to make jokes about his appearance and his body. And then she's outraged when he, says anything at all whatsoever. Like to her trainer, how much do you think she might weigh in a couple of weeks? Because I have back problems, chronic back problems. We have to do lift scenes. Okay, well, if we're going to call that any form of harassment, let's be consistent, right?
Insurance month.
It's not,
and
by
just
the way.
deal with that.
Yeah.
And then,
This is bitchy, but it's not harassment.
God.
just kidding.
No, it's true. That's why we hired Jenny's late too. Our noses.
Dude. I forgot about that.
Let's go.
So if you're like, oh, we missed some stuff.
Yeah.
They know each other better than that. She's not marrying someone she doesn't know with lots of red flags. Do you know what I mean? You're like, oh, okay, there's stuff that we don't know.
All of it.
Yeah. It feels.
Great. Think they just scored.
So that little bit.
And they score! They score!
We just watched this here.
God only knows what I'd be without you.
They score another.
If you should
I'm getting dirt on you today.
I'm probably getting crazy Well,
Okay, hang on. This is important. We need to, like, in the context of her declaration, this is important.
I'm probably getting crazy.
All right, one more time. Let's go back here. Where does she say it? Leaned into my neck, saying it smells good in reference to my skin. Saying it smells good in reference to my skin. That is one of her complaints. What are we looking at right here? She says, I'm probably getting spray tan on you. He says it smells good. Like, it's fine. It smells good. Seriously?
That sounds good.
Well, it's not that. It's the body makeup.
And they win! They won!
All right, cut. I think we got plenty.
Yes.
Slow motion. It's going to be a 17-minute reel.
This and like.
My picture and like
Apple, take one. Amer.
very simple stuff.
My heels being.
There we go.
Yeah, we don't really need to watch the rest of that. Okay. Anyways, I just wanted to show some of that in the context of her own declaration, because it's like the reason a lot of people don't believe her or find her credible is like that guy was just acting in the scene, doing his job. She was doing her job, and she's trying to say that he's some sort of creepy sexual harasser because he like put his forehead up to her neck while they're two characters falling in love and like almost kissed, but didn't. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then she would not like do what he wanted to do in the scene. Like she was like, we should be talking. We should be talking. And then Ezra Hudson will come in and try to say, oh, that's her clearly being uncomfortable and defensive. And I'm like, well, no, that's her being unprofessional and not doing her job. She thinks that she gets to rule over the director for some reason. Okay. All right. So that's it. All I got for now, guys. I got to go. I was about to say back to bed. No, I got to go back to work because I got some stuff I got to do. And then I'll be back here at 5:30 to go over the rest of that stuff. Okay. So I will see you guys at 5:30 p.m. When this ends, it's going to redirect you. There will be at the top of the chat, there will be a link to the next stream. And I'll be back in a couple hours. And then I will also post it in the comments of this video. If you're not watching live, I'll refresh and I'll post a link in the comments as well. So I'll be seeing you guys in a little bit. Appreciate it. And I'll see you later. Bye.